Hello and welcome back to the Spookins channel, a place for us to speak all things horror. I am Sam.
I'm Sarah.
Today we are back on the Traitors, so we are episode number 3. If you've had a little break from last time, what happened? We had 5 characters cursed and removed from the game.
We did. That was spicy. I wasn't actually expecting that.
Yeah, so we lost 5 in one go there. And then we had a mission. Longlegs and Pinhead are apparently very good at finding tunes in boxes.
Yeah. I stand by that. I stand by it.
Yeah, and then we had our roundtable discussion and the vote. And Sharpay Evans became the first player eliminated through the vote, and she revealed that she was in fact faithful all the time. Sharpay then got pulled into a room off the side and had a cauldron in front of her and had to pick between 5 coloured vials. Mm-hmm. She picked the vial of song.
She did.
And the episode ended there. So here we go, episode 3.
Here we go. I'm excited.
As we load up, we have a murder to be done.
Murder! I don't know why I'm shocked. Like, I don't know the format of this game.
Yeah, so we're starting off. Still the previous night. Mm-hmm. Well, still tonight, I guess. Yeah. Tiffany Valentine and Kevin Wendell Crumb meet in the turret. Yeah. Who are we murdering?
Ooh, really good question.
Who are they looking at?
I think Kendall.
Kendall.
Kevin.
Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, I think Kevin kind of might go along with what Tiffany says. So he's the kind of least aggressive of all the personalities, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't think he fights it much, what Tiffany says. I also don't think he has that many enemies right now.
No, I feel like he's probably in a place where he doesn't mind too much who goes. And I feel it's a lot like that at the beginning. You either pick random, or I feel like Tiffany maybe, if they can see that big group of kind of older dominant personalities forming, they might want to stop that before it becomes an issue.
And I think Tiffany's probably like resentful of that group anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In the first murder is always kind of random.
Yeah, or you go random and then they maybe pick Sue because she's the only one who doesn't really have a friendship group.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the easiest one to get away with. The fun thing about doing this with horror characters though is they probably don't pick the easy to get away with fun option.
No, they probably don't. Especially when you've got someone like Tiffany who is so hot-headed and so emotionally led.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe she swipes at one of the white man group.
One of the white man group.
Because her and Santanico are friends.
They
Although
are.
if they swipe at the white man group, does that then put suspicion on them?
Yeah, do they think that comes back on them at all?
Yeah, because although Kevin doesn't have enemies himself, the initial trait is you don't want it to cast suspicion on any of them. I don't think that Kevin thinks he can do this on his own because they've already lost one traitor. And I think that he thinks, I can't do anything that would lead to Tiffany or me because I can't do this by myself. Mm-hmm. So potentially they don't go for one of the white man group for that reason. And maybe they do go for Sue because she, like you say, she doesn't have a friendship group. And there's no one that can really pin that on her. Or is there another character that's kind of rubbing everyone up the wrong way? So we've got a little character layout down here. So if we're looking down, that's what we're looking at.
Our little setup is here instead of over here today.
It just reminds us who is friends with who, all of their names. It's hard to remember 25 characters. And so if we're like looking down like that, that's what we're looking at. Yeah. So I think they probably either murder maybe Sue or the smaller white man group of Ray, Roman and Eric. Yeah,
I feel like the larger white man group plus Umbridge,
she is a woman,
is the easier target. I feel like it's the target where it wouldn't put the suspicion on you, simply because I feel like they would all immediately understand why they're being targeted, and that would be anyone. Maybe they would be looking at the people who they deem to be the most intelligent, because that would be a good gameplay one.
Of the game.
And so does Tiffany think that they think she's intelligent?
I think that if they go down that logic, Mr. Reed is the one that is murdered, because he also probably insufferable.
He dominated the round table discussion.
He did, yeah.
But do people now think maybe he's a traitor? Does that put traitor on him?
I think potentially they might go for Umbridge. She, first of all, is an unbearable human being. She's insufferable. No one likes her.
Yeah.
And does it then cast suspicion on the that group? Because then it could be like a double bluff. Why would I get rid of one of my group? And then you could kind of play it that it was Mr. Reed.
Yeah,
he dominated the table.
Yeah, he stopped anyone from putting any suspicions across, so that he was kind of safe from it.
He was kind of leading the discussion, and I think it would be a smart move to do the double bluff. And he is the kind of guy that likes to think he's like 5 steps ahead of everyone. So it's feasible that...
Yeah, so I think the murder definitely comes from within that group.
Yes, and I think it's Umbridge.
You think it's Umbridge?
Yeah, I think it is. I think she's a really nasty person. And they're like, you know what? I can't stand her mean comments anymore. She's rude.
Yeah.
So they get rid of her. And I think Kevin's just like...
I agree. Yeah, going to agree with everything now. I think he's happy with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
He doesn't know who to get rid of. So
there you go, Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah. Because let's not forget that Tiffany's not stupid.
She's not stupid, no.
She is clever. So I think that she would come up with that theory.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think that Umbridge, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it,
yeah,
is the first murder.
Okay, there we go. Dolores Umbridge. We've lost her to the murder. Wow. Cool. After the murder, we have breakfast.
The breakfast always looks so good, man.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I could scran all those pastries. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this looks like the donniest continental you'll ever have. And it makes you jealous every time you watch a season.
Literally.
So never watch this show hungry. Yeah, breakfast, everyone turns up. Or what a day. Everyone turns up until there's like 3 remaining not to turn up.
Everyone turns up until they don't.
Yeah. Van Helsing, Dr. Heiter and Umbridge have not turned up yet. Everyone's at the table. Oh no.
Oh.
Who's it going to be? Knock, knock, knock. Door opens. It's Van Helsing and Dr. Heiter. We know. I don't know why I'm building suspense. We've just done it. Yeah, they find out Umbridge is gone. They're talking about it. Another knock. Knock, knock, knock.
But they're
Door
all there.
opens.
Is it Bella Winkleman?
No, it's Lady Raven.
Oh,
It's Lady
okay.
Raven.
Back in it.
Yeah, she's back.
She's back, baby.
They ask her how she's here. She says, I don't know. She doesn't know. She's just, but I've been cured of my curse.
Ooh.
And I'm back in the game. So there we go. Lady Raven is back. Dolores Umbridge is out.
Good.
Anyone happy? Anyone disappointed?
I don't think anyone's disappointed to see Lady Raven.
No.
She's nice. She plays good songs.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Reed is very happy
Mr. Reed's
see her
happy.
return.
I think Abigail's probably happy.
Yeah, I think so.
Sienna probably happy. I think there's a few happy people.
I think it will change some dynamics, her coming back.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sue looking like, I might have another friend here.
I think Sue realises that she needs to make another friend.
And having a person who missed a day might
Yeah,
be
exactly.
handy.
So Lady Raven doesn't know that they were like she was so close to Sharpay yet. She could still make another friend. I think Lady Raven probably gravitates. I don't know where she gravitates, to be honest. I think we'll leave her as a floating figure for now. I think we need to have more time.
Sure.
Because I feel like I know a few different groups she would mingle. I feel like she's obviously as a pop star, she's a people person.
Yeah,
I think she's just someone that everyone likes.
Mold with any of these groups. Yeah, I think she's a good one to have back in the game from an audience point of view as well. I think she could kind of fall anywhere and do many things. So yeah, excited to see where that leads.
Yeah, we'll leave her just there for now.
Bella Winkleman
Bella Winkleman.
enters, takes the Dolores Umbridge portrait off the wall. Says, "Oh, you've voted for Dolores Umbridge." This is Claudia Winkleman and not Bella Swan that we're doing here.
They didn't vote for her.
She
She
may
got
be-
murdered.
Yeah, true. She may have been a professor, but she couldn't teach herself to survive.
Why did she get a Hell's Kitchen?
They do it on the Traitors as well, and then she throws the portrait on the floor, slams it down much harder than necessary, and stamps it into the dirt. Before saying, "I hope you all brought your armbands and goggles.
Wow.
See you later." And she leaves the room, leaving the group to their breakfast.
Yeah, she goes to just stand in the next room like shielding everyone from Edward. Just the whole season, she's just like.
You see, every time she pops on the screen, you can just see the stress, just drape,
The
just the
concentration.
sweat of how much she's having to concentrate.
And host at the same time. Get this woman a BAFTA, an Emmy,
Yeah, there you go.
whatever.
There you go. She's the first recipient of the Spookins Award for.
Contribution.
Okay, the mission today.
Is it something to do with swimming?
Almost.
Okay.
How did you know that? 30 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
Each player starts tied to a pole. So they've got to free themselves from the pole. And then, so this is another one from UK Traitors Season 1. Free themselves from a pole, and then they need to find maps. There's lots of bottles on a beach. They got to look in the bottles. Only some of them have a map in it. The map will tell them how to put together a puzzle. The puzzle pieces are pontoons that are floating in the lock. And they got to swim out to the pontoons. And you've got to drag them back and fix them together. They've got lines drawn on them. They are the puzzle pieces.
That's fair. See, I remember all of those components separately, but not together as a task.
But yeah, so there is a shield available
Okay.
as well in this game.
Yeah.
There are 3, actually.
Ooh.
They are dotted around. There's one just as you untie yourself.
Okay.
There's one somewhere on the beach. And there's one in the water. All of them you have to go out of your way to get. So people will see you going for them.
Okay.
So first step of this,
Yeah.
who's good at untying themselves?
I mean, Lady Raven unties herself or unhandcuffs herself in the car.
She does.
However,
From
I
experience.
think is that handcuffs, and she does it against something. It's not quite the same.
I think that is.
But I think she's got experience in doing this. She's got herself out of a situation like that before. I think Abigail can just kind of.
Slip out. Yeah.
She's strong.
I would imagine Sienna has some ability to get herself out of something like that. I know she's never been in the situation.
In a
but
show
I can
like
imagine.
this, it's not going to be done to the same standard.
No, it's not going to be
it?
like really, really tough.
No.
Heiter?
I don't know. I can't.
Probably just a normal
Yeah.
amount.
I think the person
Eric as a policeman?
Oh, Eric will be fine. I think who will struggle is Frankenhooker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she.
No dexterity.
No, I think someone's going to need to help her out. But she's got. Are they allowed to help each other?
Yeah, so once you've freed yourself,
You can free the
your
others.
best thing is to free everyone else so
Okay.
you can get on with the rest of the task.
So she can't do it at all.
Yeah, so
but
someone's going to have to
she's
help
got a
her.
gang. So I think like someone helps her.
Mm-hmm.
And if none of her friends do, there's someone like Mr. Reed or Edward or even like Tiffany or Santanico is like, we've got to get her out. Like regardless of whether we're friends or not, we need to get her out for the win. So I think the real competitive people like Ray, maybe Eric, they are very caught up in getting out and getting on to the next point. I don't think they help.
Is anyone immediately freeing themselves and then grabbing the shield?
Ray.
Ray?
I think he
Wallace
gets
on the
himself
shield?
out really quickly. and he just grabs the shield. Although he is used to playing a team game, isn't he, in baseball? It is kind of all about him as the star player.
Yeah, it's a weird like solo team sport, baseball, because you're never really doing anything as a team so much.
Yeah.
Especially like on the batting side, and I think he's a batsman. I know they all do everything, but
yeah. And as well, it is really all about him. So I think Ray...
he probably has that like white man anxiety where everyone's against him as well.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to get out and be like, oh no, I'm going to be murdered.
Yeah,
I need to protect
Ray
myself.
or Roman would definitely go for the shield, but I think that Ray gets out quicker than Roman does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we got Ray with a shield, with the first shield of the thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Have we got any good swimmers? Do we think?
Probably.
Because there's one pontoon which is like stationary, like nailed down or whatever, so it doesn't float around. So if you're not good at swimming, you stand on that, and you can like look out and you kind of call in. You can like compose the building of the thing. So there's a few people who can stay on there if they don't feel like they're good at swimming.
Frankenhooker probably can't swim. So can anyone stay on the beach, or do they all have to go out to the pontoons?
No, anyone can stay anywhere.
I think Frankenhooker does not even get involved.
So some people can swim out even before there's any maps and they know what they're doing.
Okay, I don't think Frankenhooker gets involved in the water at all. Might do something weird to her stitches or whatever. Yeah. I think she doesn't really like it. So she stays out, I think. Sienna's probably a swimmer.
Sienna can swim. Carrie...
Just based off the actress's like build, I think she's be a decent swimmer.
Lauren Lavera can definitely swim.
She's got a swimmer's physique.
She does.
I think she can swim. Edward can swim 100%.
Yep.
In Twilight, I'm pretty sure they not in the books, but they talk about swimming across like an ocean.
Do they swim in Carrie? Is that after a swimming lesson that she gets bullied for?
It's definitely PE. I think it's just gym.
Okay.
But it's in the shower. It's in the shower.
I think they probably swim.
But I don't think Carrie's very good at it.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's
right.
So she's
I think
not a strong
maybe they
swimmer.
do swim in their school, but Carrie probably doesn't partake that much in phys ed because she gets bullied, and everyone makes fun of her and. Everyone hates swimming at school. Yeah. I love swimming. I love it. It's my favourite form of exercise. But when we did it in school, I hated it. So I can see Carrie not really partaking. Why would she need to learn to swim? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sienna and Edward are in the ocean, in the sea, in the loch.
Edward is going to be great at this because he doesn't get tired.
Does Edward want a shield? If he's probably the strongest swimmer in the group, right?
Well, Edward is also so like, I'm going to sacrifice myself for you. So I think he doesn't. He
doesn't go for it. So he's just doing the mission.
At no point goes for the shield because he is very angsty, very self-sacrificial. Like, I am a demon from hell and I have to prove myself my entire life. For some reason,
I think Santanico can swim relatively well.
Yeah. Probably.
Eric can swim.
Yeah, they have to be able to do stuff to be pleased.
Roman, I'm not convinced about Roman's swimming abilities.
I'm not convinced that Roman can swim very well.
If we say Eric is the next strongest swimmer, does he want a shield?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Eric and Ray.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting white man shield time.
Well, if they want to look out for themselves, then they can. The other person I think who really wants a shield is probably either Riff Raff or Carrie, because I think Carrie is so used to being disliked and bullied that she probably thinks she won't survive without one.
I've got to say as well, we are Kevin again today.
Oh!
Yeah, he's sticking around. So the dice want
fair.
Kevin, so we're sticking with Kevin.
Fair enough.
So we're still Kevin.
I mean, even though he is Kevin, and I view Kevin as kind of like a soft character.
Yeah.
James McAvoy is built. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, James McAvoy is a tank.
There's no reason Kevin can't swim.
No, I think he's probably as good as anyone else at swimming. Like, he's no better than anyone else.
Decent. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Sue wants a shield.
Oh, Sue 100%
Yeah,
wants
Sue's
a shield, and I think she's the one that's willing. These are all the same character type. I think Sue, Eric, Ray. They're all very similar character types.
Yeah.
I think that Sue is the next one, and
she gets the beach shield.
Selfish.
She is, yeah.
So she would
absolutely
go for that shield.
I mean, she's straight off. I mean, she's unhooking herself, untying herself, sees that Ray's got the near one, and just bolts for the other one.
I think Sue prioritizes shield over the game.
Yeah, I do too. So there we go. We got our 3 shields have been picked up. Eric, Ray, and Sue won't be being murdered tonight. They've all picked them up in plain sight. So we'll say Tiffany and Kevin know who have the shields.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game. Do they complete the game? They got to build the puzzle. They got half an hour.
Yeah, I think so. The first challenge is always designed to be easy enough to not demoralise them.
Yeah. You've got a couple of people here who are going to be good at giving the direction and like very clear in giving the direction and putting things where they need to be. And you've got a few strong swimmers who are really interested in winning the game. Yeah. And I think that's good.
I think they do it. I don't think there's no reason why they wouldn't. I know that some of these characters are a bit like devil may care, but for the purposes of this game, they've joined the game because they want to be there. So I don't think there's anyone that's like, oh no, I'm not going to. I think the closest we get to that is Mr. Reed, but I think he takes on the role of like not composer.
Like coordinator.
Coordinating, yeah. I think he takes on that role. And I think he does it quite well.
Yeah, I think so. He's just got his map and he's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I think he does that. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
cool.
sure on that Hugh Grant impression.
No, sorry, sorry, Hugh. Sorry. I've not been practicing that one. That one came from the blue. I'm sorry. Yeah. 15,000 to the prize pot. We're up to 21,000. Everyone's buzzing. Good to know.
But I think some people are annoyed that the 3 people went straight for the shields.
Yeah. Are we getting traitor calls for anyone in this downtime? We're into downtime after mission.
I think that people probably think it's a little suspicious that everyone went straight for the shields. Because that's a traitor move. As far as they are aware, there are 3 traitors still.
Yes.
So I think that some of them do think it's a bit suspicious. And I wonder if they think maybe Sue, and because she was so
and you
close
can
to
come back as well and
Sharpay.
saying she voted for Sharpay.
She did vote for Sharpay.
So it might be like, oh, you were so close to her, and yet it's so easy to vote her out. Is that because you knew she was faithful, and you were like, and you're a traitor? I think Tiffany is very quick to plant a seed of one of those 3.
Yes.
They're very quick to say, oh, did you see Ray went straight for that shield?
Yeah, I think so. And Tiffany does have girl power. So I think, despite the fact that they killed Umbridge, Umbridge doesn't count for girl power because Umbridge sucks.
Umbridge has no girl power, yeah.
Umbridge is not girl boss energy. So I think maybe she, like Ray or Eric, she wants to plant the seed on them. They're like, oh, that was a bit too quick to get the shield. Are they worried about something?
Yeah. See how these white men are sticking together and getting all the shields. Is it more than one of them?
Yeah. So I think she
have they formed their little
seed.
Friendship group because they're the traitor group?
And Tiffany hates the police.
Yeah.
So maybe it's Eric. She tries to pin it on.
There you go. So she's planting a seed on Eric.
I think so too. I'm not sure how many people take it up, but I think that Tiffany tries to cast suspicion on Eric. I think suspicion is on Eric and Sue right now out of them. I think that Tiffany and Kevin at some point want to put it onto Mr. Reed, but now is not the moment to do that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to hold on to Mr. Reed for a little while because he will talk himself into suspicion.
Yeah, I think they believe that he will get himself voted out,
and they
banished.
Don't need to. They want to look at people at the start. They always want to look at people who are not going to be banished.
Yeah.
So I think they look at Sue. They look at Eric.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to cast suspicion on anyone else.
No.
Yeah, I think Tiffany tries to push Eric, but the sentiment of the group maybe goes more towards Sue.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe they raise the idea that it's someone who grabbed a shield. But the group, I think, maybe goes more towards Sue than Eric.
Yeah.
Because I think Sue, they always go off the most random stuff, don't they? And she voted for Sharpay, so...
She did, yeah. She went for the shield really quickly, and she voted for her friend. She did vote. Everyone voted for Sharpay, yeah.
So I think that the group suspicion is maybe going to be on her, depending on how she can talk herself out of it. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone that suspicious, unless they also do the thing where they're like, oh, we don't know who it is, so it must be someone that's really smart.
Yeah. Which comes to our little
down to...
group again, and then maybe we already get the did they get rid of Umbridge?
Yeah.
To try and hide from it, when in fact it is just one of the really clever people, because it would be a really clever thing to do.
Yeah.
Who would have that in them to come up with that theory that they would drop someone in it? So
I think maybe Edward. He's very cynical about human behaviour.
Yeah.
And I think he would be like, well, obviously one of
them's got their friends.
Got their friends. So I think Edward maybe raises the idea that it could be one of that group who got rid of their own. I think Frankenhooker has no idea. She's just vibing. And I think that whole group at the moment is just having a nice time. You know what I mean? They're here for fun. Carrie just agrees with Edward, I think, at this point. She's not come into her own yet, which she might do as we play.
Yeah.
But for now, she's not come into her own. I think Sienna can see how that would be true. But I think Sienna is probably very mistrustful of Longlegs, because he is also like a demon from hell, as Art the Clown is. I think she probably sees it.
Yeah, she looks at the Pinhead, Longlegs, and probably even Frankenhooker group. I think she looks at him in a like.
She's a bit
not
unsure.
So sure there.
But I think for now she doesn't raise any suspicion on that group.
No.
Because she's also fair.
Yeah.
So I think without evidence she won't suggest them.
No, she won't.
And she just mistrusts them based on their character rather than because she thinks they're a traitor. So yeah, I think those are the conversations that are happening.
Does Lady Raven find herself a friendship group in this downtime?
Lady Raven's a tricky one. Again, I think she goes between the groups and she just chats to all of them, which I think later on might lead her astray. Yeah. But for now, I think she's not found one solid group. Okay. I think she's one of these people that chats to everyone. Yeah. But if I had to pick one, I think it would... it's between Tiffany, Santanico and Riffraff, because I think she would think they were cool, but she might also think they were kind of weird. And the Carrie, Edward, Sienna group. I don't really think there's a natural fit for her here. No,
I think it's between those two as well. I feel like, for some reason, I feel like the Santanico Tiffany group would be quite fond of having Lady Raven as part of it.
But I think
they also would.
Is less villainous.
Less villainous, yeah.
And I think she might group together with the protagonists rather than the villains. So for now, I'll put her kind of just next to Carrie.
And Sue's not found a home.
Carrie in this universe, because I mean, if we're assuming these are all in the same universe, Carrie's probably a really big fan of Lady Raven. Yeah. So, and Lady Raven probably loves that. So I think, and Sienna probably knows her too. So I think she finds a little home there. Yeah. Edward could not care less for her. But Edward does appreciate music, so he probably likes that she can play the piano and sing, and she composes, and so does he. Yeah. They've got... like...
I'm watching you.
Got my eye on you, Lady Raven, actually, and I can unshield at any moment and let Carrie wreck you.
Okay, we will move to the round table.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got a few things brought up there that we kind of know of. They've all been discussing within their groups.
Yes. I think at this point, before the round table, the group always tries to come to some form of consensus. Yeah. But I don't think they've reached it in this instance because they are so torn between different theories.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is going to come down to the strength of how many people are friends with other people.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll vote together.
They will, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the main contenders for being voted off here are Eric, Sue, and I think Edward raises the possibility of one of that group, but they don't know which one to go with.
Yeah, and they probably think that the shield theory is stronger at present.
Actually, I mean, potentially, Edward doesn't even bring it up. I think maybe he holds on to it.
I think he might hold on to
because
it.
He doesn't want to split the vote.
I think if anything, if he was going to bring it up, I think it would be in a 1-to-1 with maybe Sienna.
Yeah, I think he's really struggling because he's used to being able to read everyone's mind.
Yeah, this is probably a lot.
And I think because of that, he's double guessing himself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as well, he's quite smart and he wouldn't want to split the vote not having a proper target.
Yeah.
I think he wants to develop his theory before he brings it to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of these people that keeps it close to him until he's ready to share it, which again might get him in trouble later.
Yeah.
You always get these kind of characters who are like, oh, I had all these theories, I did this, I knew this all along, and everyone's like, oh, why did you never say it?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you never bring it to the table?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's between Eric and Sue.
So round table, we'll say someone brings up Eric. Who brings up Eric's name? Who's willing to speak up on it?
I think probably Santanico. She gives vibes that she's just going to say what she thinks.
Okay, Santanico brings up Eric.
Yeah.
Does Eric have a good defense?
Eric uses the excuse of just say he's one of these people that's like, I'm 100% faithful.
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't say that if I wasn't.
Yeah, you can vote me off, but I'm just going to stand up there and tell you I'm faithful, and then you're all going to be rubbish and upset. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his vibe.
That's his whole defense, isn't it?
But I think he says why, like he says something like, I want the shield because I'm faithful.
Okay, and then. Who brings up Sue's name?
Who do we think brings up Sue? I reckon maybe the
one of
group
these?
Mr. Reed Van.
I
think it
one
is.
of the Mr. Reed group.
Mr. Reed Van Helsing, Dr. Heiter.
Okay. We say Mr. Reed doesn't get talking time in this one, so it's going to be someone else.
I think Mr. Reed starts to talk, and Van Helsing is like,
I'll take this one, John.
Because Van Helsing is smart, and he knows that. Too much reading, too much Mr. Reed talking time is going to throw suspicion on him.
Yeah.
So Mr. Reed goes to say something and Van Helsing's like, I think it's Sue. Say if Sam is Mr. Reed. He's like, I think
under
it's
the table.
Sue. Yeah. He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I think it's Sue.
Sue would have a very big emotional response to being called out.
Yeah, I think so.
And probably... in her immediate reaction is to throw it at someone else.
Yeah, I think so. So I think Sue is kind of if you watch the last season, she gives maybe Leanne vibes.
Yeah.
In that she just can't handle the injustice of being called traitor when she knows that she isn't.
Yeah.
And I think she has a big I mean, it's exactly how I would be.
Yeah.
Like, just dealing with the injustice of being accused of something I didn't do would drive me wild.
Yeah.
So I think that Sue has a big emotional reaction. She tries to throw it somewhere else. I'm not sure who she tries to throw it at.
Would she just throw it back at Eric because his name's been called up already?
Yeah.
Or would she just go completely out of the blue? Maybe like Riff Raff?
I think she goes for someone out of the blue.
I think maybe Riff Raff. He's just kind of drifting between groups, trying to stay off to the side, not said anything. I think she would go for someone who's not saying much.
So either Riff Raff or Carrie, I think she would go for.
I think she would.
But I think she would go for Riff Raff because she would see that Lady Raven, Carrie, Edward and Sienna are her best shot at an allyship.
Yes.
So I think she throws it at Riff Raff and is like, he's not said anything.
Mm-hmm. Does that land with anyone?
I mean, she could
maybe
say
that,
the same
maybe
about
Pinhead and...
Kevin Pinhead and Longlegs also have not said very much.
I think Kevin Pinhead and Longlegs, though, could be swayed by the Spider throwing at Riff Raff and saying he's not said anything, he's being quiet, he's just following people around. Like, he's a shady boy. He's really shady.
Gives the vibe of a more... you know the traitors, like what was his name? Miles?
Mm-hmm.
The one who did the iconic fizzy rosé for Diane. He just kind of agreed. Mm-hmm. I think Kevin's like that, and I think because Riff Raff is probably the last one that's mentioned because it's the bounce off.
Yeah.
He's like, sure.
Yeah, I think that does.
Sure.
And I was about to say the exact same thing for Frankenhooker. I think she votes for the most recently mentioned theory.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go to vote.
Oh, a split vote.
We'll go to vote. It's going to be an exciting one to think about who you would go for in this situation. Okay, and we'll start with random. We might have to go round everyone here.
We might have to.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll start with Tiffany. And we won't. We started with Tiffany last time. I know we didn't do it this way, but we did. So let's start with Sienna.
Start at this end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sienna is it's hard.
It is difficult.
So we're between Eric, Sue, and Riff Raff.
Okay, Eric, Sue, and Riff Raff.
Or if anyone wants to go wild and do their own one, then that's absolutely fine. But I feel like Sienna would want to vote with a group.
Yeah.
And it would be the group that she thought was most justified and there was most evidence in.
Yes. I think this group here with the non-villains is very evidence-based. So they are going for someone who got a shield.
It's between Eric and Sue.
100%.
And I think probably Sienna sees more hope in Sue saving her later than Eric.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe that spins it. So
I
maybe
agree.
Sue for... Let's go... I'm going to write... Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's what's frozen.
There you go. Sienna for Eric.
I think this whole group votes for Eric.
Lady Raven, yeah?
Yeah, because I think Lady Raven likes Sue. And she's kind of in with that Tiffany Santanico Riff Raff group as well. I don't think she would vote for Riff Raff. I think she's 100% voting for Eric or Sue. And I think she votes for...
Eric. Okay, Sue votes for Riff Raff.
Yeah, of course.
After I think she can't now change it. That would look really weird. Yeah,
that
would be definite suicide.
Yeah, 100%.
Hater.
I think goes Sue.
Hater for Sue. Mr. Reed.
I don't know if he goes for Sue or Eric. I think he might go for Eric.
I think he probably goes for Eric.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mr. Reed goes for Eric.
Van Helsing.
I
think votes for Sue.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he sees more evil potential in her.
I think Abigail, is living in this castle and just watching everything unfold and like enjoying the chaos.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I think Eric brings the least chaos.
Yes, I think she wants to have the most chaos at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminating any of these people brings no chaos. I think later on, when getting rid of people causes the chaos, she'll be on it. Mm-hmm. But for now, none of these people being removed causes chaos. So she goes for Eric because he's boring.
Yeah,
so
and she knows that later on in the game, Sue might say something that gets exciting.
She's there for entertainment.
Yeah, and she can probably think that Riff Raff maybe has got something else going on because he's being sneaky and weird. And
yeah, so I think she gets rid of Eric purely because he's boring.
Longlegs.
Longlegs is not voting for Sue. There's no way.
Does he go Riff Raff or Eric? Does he vote with Sue?
But he doesn't know how Sue's going to vote. Although
Sue is the one that called out Riff Raff.
Yeah, I think he votes for Riff Raff.
For Riff.
Yeah.
Pinhead,
I think, just couldn't care less.
Yeah, absolutely couldn't care less. He's a hard character to have in the game.
Pinhead doesn't know why he's here. He doesn't really care. Pinhead's also a hard character to have in this game because I don't know him that well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think Pinhead probably votes Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, Pinhead's going for Eric. Eric is going for Sue. Yeah.
Yeah, because he knows it's between him and Sue.
Yeah.
He doesn't think the Riff Raff theory holds much water. And I think Ray and Roman both also vote for Sue because they are also aware it's between them two.
Okay. Tiffany.
Tiffany and Santanico were the first to bring up the shield theory, weren't they?
They were.
Okay. So I think they vote for Eric.
Eric, yeah, Santanico goes for Eric. And Riffraff. Does he go for Sue because she pulled him out?
I think he goes for Sue. He's quite spiteful, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is a spiteful guy, so I think he goes for Sue.
Okay, so
Right.
Eric
Yeah.
has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
Eric's got 9 votes.
Yeah.
Riffraff 4, and Sue has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 votes for Sue.
Oh, rip Eric.
So Eric Newton. Eric
Newland.
Newland. Sorry, it still says Newton on our card. We didn't change our card. Eric Newland is voted off.
Wow.
And he's pissed. He's angry. He's fuming. And he gets up there and he's on his thing. Has he got words to say?
Yeah, probably. He probably has a little monologue.
Yeah, got a white man monologue
Yeah,
and it's cut off by Bella Winkle when he goes, all right.
Okay, are you faithful or are you a traitor?
Off you go.
Come on.
And he's faithful, as we know.
As we know.
There we go. Eric.
And Roman and Ray are like extremely angry at everyone. They're like, it's a conspiracy. Everyone was against him for no reason, and now we've lost a good man, etc., etc. So yeah, I think that they're fuming. So that's the round table done.
Round table done.
Yeah.
Eric now
Yes.
gets the vial decision.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So we have remaining blood,
Yeah.
knowledge,
Yeah.
victory,
Yeah.
or kindness.
I would like to say that for anyone who's going to think that this is going to affect gameplay, because I know who they all are, you're forgetting I've got a terrible memory. I don't remember who any of these people are. I know that Xander has the potential to come back, but I can't remember what curse he had. And I simply don't remember who the other 4 were.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's Eric going
right,
for?
Eric, what were the choices, sorry?
Blood, knowledge, kindness, or victory.
I think he's like, oh, you know what? I'm in such a bad mood. Maybe he goes for victory because he thinks that he will go back in. Because
Maybe,
it's
yeah,
victory.
because he's going to win. Yeah, it's actually
so
secret
I think
that
he
he's
goes
going to
for
win.
victory. Yeah.
Okay, so Eric takes the victory vial,
Ooh,
pours it into the cauldron,
exciting.
throws it away, and leaves the castle.
Wow.
We will go to the turret
Okay.
for our murder tonight,
Yeah.
or our recruit
Yes. True.
tonight.
Okay. So it's Tiffany and Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
I think tonight they might decide to recruit.
I think they can recruit.
Yeah, I think they recruit. I think they go for all the players, and normally they don't do this based on who their friends are.
No.
So I don't think it's like Santanico. I don't think it's any of Kevin's group. I think they want someone
from a outside group.
influential.
Who hasn't really had suspicion on them.
So I think maybe they consider Lady Raven.
Yeah, she's just come back into the game. They might think
Yeah.
that gives her some sort of
Yeah.
immunity to thought. I don't know.
They might consider Mr. Reed.
Yeah.
Just because he would make a really good traitor. I do think if he was a traitor, he would give himself away almost straight away. But I think he would be kind of a good traitor. And remember, they have the right. Is it the same? They have the right to refuse.
Yes.
Yes. So they have the right to refuse. So I think they go maybe Sue, but Sue has had quite a lot of suspicion on her.
Yeah.
So that's more a short-term gameplay.
Yes, if they want to at some point throw someone under the bus, Sue might be an easy one.
I think potentially they might ask Sue because
I think
as
they might
far
ask Sue.
as the faithfuls are aware, there are still 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think including her in the gang, in the Traitors gang, and then getting her voted out almost immediately, they'll all be like, oh my god, we're so good at this game. Oh my god, we're great.
Yeah.
It will change the psychology of the faithfuls completely if they get her out almost straight away.
Yeah.
And to find out she's a traitor. And I think Kevin, although I've kind of written him off as.
I think
of a
he
melt.
is. I think he is melting to Tiffany.
But
at
I
least.
think he does have some. He sees the value in this.
Yeah, I think he knows the game and understands that. Yeah, they might at some point throwing someone else under the bus and being like, "Here's a traitor," is going to make them look better.
Tiffany is all for throwing people under the bus.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think they try and recruit Sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll call it there.
Yeah.
We're not even going to tell you if Sue accepts or not until the next episode.
Exciting.
Little cliffhanger for you. Oh, didn't expect it from us.
Thank you for watching episode 3
Yep.
of the Traitors on the Spookins channel. We hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you in episode 4. Do all the YouTube stuff, like and subscribe and notifications. I'm trying to remember what you said at the end of the last video.
Yeah, like, subscribe, click the little bell, get your notifications so you know when the next video goes up. We're trying to do what, a couple a week?
Yeah.
Couple a week on average. There might be a little one here and there in between. But yeah, please stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
Yeah. Stay classy. What is it? What's wrong in Burgundy?
Stay classy,
Yeah.
San Diego.
Stay classy, YouTube.
Yeah.
5 by 5. Over and out.